Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, that life just keeps knocking you down? Well, I've been there. And honestly, I'm still working on myself. And I'd love to share my story with you on some of the struggles that I've been through, some of the things that I've overcame, and some of the things that I do to help me stay in control. Because it's too easy to give into it, and if you give into it, you will ultimately fail. You can't let the bad things happen to you just define who you are. You got to keep going, you got to keep pushing. So where I'd like to start my story off is just growing up as a child. I had both of my parents. I had a brother. We always do things as a family. We'd go out to the beach. We would, uh, go to the park. We would just have fun. You know, and the older I got, the more I realized that, they had their own struggles, and they dove into those struggles instead of embracing it and trying to overcome them. I actually lost my mom when I was 13 years old. It was very tragic for me. It wasn't just something that happened and my mom's no longer here with us. She struggled with substance abuse, and she was very into it. And I remember one day, I was 13. I came home from school. My friends had came over. We were all hanging out, having fun. We went outside, started, just doing what boys do at the age of 13. And I remember seeing my mom. She said that she was gonna go up to her room, and that was the last thing I saw. And then my dad gets home, and he's asking, "Where's your mom? Where's she at?" I was like, "Oh, she went up to her room a couple of hours ago. We haven't heard anything since." And so he goes up there, door's locked. He can't get in the door. So and we, mind you, we live in a two-story home at the time. He actually got a ladder, climbed up through the second story window into his room, and as he's climbing up in the window, I open the door, and there she is. She's face down, out of it, and she was blue when we found her. This might be a little too much, but I feel like some people need to hear this because I've seen some really traumatic things, and I feel that it shaped me as a person. I will say I was a huge mama's boy. I loved her. I would do anything for her. I was literally always by her side. And losing her at the age of 13 was very rough on me. And I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to cope with it. So I bottled everything up, and I never spoke about it. I never spoke about how I felt. Never once. And then I remember it was 6 years had passed, and I finally opened up about it. It was Christmas time. Christmas was never the same after she had passed. We would always decorate the tree. We'd always have the biggest real tree that we could have. And that was me and my mom's time together, was just decorating the tree. And I remember that Christmas like it was yesterday, where she wasn't there, and I couldn't deal with it. I literally broke down, and I cried for the first time in 6 years. And then recently after that, my dad passed away, and it was very hard to see him because he went down a road of alcoholism. So he used alcohol to cope with his pain. And when I was 19, he was unresponsive. We rushed him to the hospital, and then his liver failed. So he was put on a transplant list as soon as they could. But within 20, 30 minutes, he went brain dead, and he was living off of a machine. So he always told us when we were kids that no matter what happens to him, if at any point he is living off of a machine and the machine is the only thing that keeps him alive, pull the plug. He says he doesn't want to live that way. So me and my brother, we made the decision of, doing that. And that was one of the most difficult decisions I ever had to make, was pulling the plug. And, it really hurt. And then I went back into the bottling everything up, never talking about it, never letting anybody know exactly, what's going on, until I spoke with a therapist, and that therapist really, they made me realize that I'm not the only one that has experienced loss at such a young age. I'm not the only one that has lost their parents. And, it really opened my eyes to talking about it. And the more I talked about it, the more I felt better. I know that the pain will never go away. Those images will never go away. But it's what I do from here on out that defines me, not what happened. So I made the decision, I would never touch drugs, and I don't drink alcohol. Those are two of the things that I stand firmly with, because I don't want to fall down that path. I saw how easy it was for them to do it, and I can't do it to myself. So I just started doing other things, whether it was just hanging out with friends, to take my mind off of things, surrounding me with people that I loved. And there's a big saying that my mom always told me is, friends are the family you choose. Because you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends. And your friends can be your family. So I live by that. I don't really have any family. And the family that I do have, they're not as close as I'd like them to be. They also live in different states, so we never get to really see each other. But I've surrounded myself with a group of friends that I call family. And it's amazing to have a support system like that. I also, I have friends that, you can call them coworkers, but I consider them family. They care about me more than most people do. And it's nice to be able to find that. But you've got to be willing to put yourself out there. You've got to be willing to be open with people in order for you to connect with them on that level. So what am I doing now to kind of help me with things? Well, I still struggle. I still have nightmares of that day when I found my mom. And some days I don't want to get out of bed. Some days I just want to just lay there and do nothing. But I know that they wouldn't want me to do that. They wouldn't want me to be sad. They would want me to live my life, to do what I was born to do. I don't know what that is, but that's the journey. My journey right now is trying to find who I am and what brings me joy. Recently I've been getting into art. I've been working on doing tattoos, but I feel that creativity is what really helps me get through things. And if you can, I'd love to hear it from y'all. Just if you drop it in the comments, let me know what are some of the things that you do to kind of help you get through some of those tough days, because I know we all have them. We all have those days of waking up and not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to do anything. But what do you tell yourself? What do you do to get you out of that mindset, to get yourself to where you can make it through the day? You can be productive. I know it's hard for y'all. I know it's hard for me. But, I feel that if we create a really great support system to where we can rely on each other, that we can be supportive of each other, this world would be a better place. But also, it'll help you kind of get through your own struggles, your own things. But I want you to remember that you're stronger than you think, and you just keep going. So I hope this story has touched somebody's heart, has helped somebody in some way, even if it's just being there. I'm there. I'm here. If you need anything, drop a comment. I'm more than happy to see what I can do to help out, even if it's just lending an ear. I'm if I can help you through your struggles, that's something I've always wanted to do. So, y'all take care, and I'm off.